Let's do some WWE news while we're chilling. So the Dudleys are calling out the Hardys. Your boy Phil called it for one more time. I had heard that. Devon was like, when he didn't get in the ring during that ECW NXT show, it's because I don't know if he's even physically cleared, but then he was like getting ready for a possible one more. I mean, Edge and Christian's there. If Tony Khan wasn't such a mark, he could have, I'm not saying have them all do like a TLC, but you could have had a moment with the 6 gentlemen. But I don't know. The Dudleys are on Busted Open. Shout out LaGreca, Bully, Dreamer, and Devon talking about getting the tables one more time on that Hardy boy ass.
We're talking about LeBron and Jordan. And in this particular aspect, you got the new generation that thinks LeBron is the man, and you've got us who've watched Jordan play and do his thing, know that he's the greatest and know that he's the GOAT. It's no different than with us. The Dudley boys are the GOAT. They are the LeBron James of this era now, and they can continue to be the LeBron James. So again, Matt, Jeff, if you want a piece of the Dudleys, then do it. Make it happen. Tell your boss Dreamer to make it happen. Put the pen on the paper and let's do this. Because I'm tired of that keeps going back and forth about who's the greatest. The greatest is right here.
I personally think the Dudleys over the Hardys as far as tag team. Now, I was a bigger fan of the Hardys personally, and I love the Dudleys so much, like growing up, you know. But I think just the Dudleys overall, like the belts they won, where they traveled, everything they've done, I think as a tag are right there with like the Road Warriors, in my opinion.
Too. The Dudley boys.
Like over Edge and Christian, and for sure. As solos now, like Edge and the Hardys crush the Dudleys, but.
And again, if you have a problem with that, then get your asses in the ring and get knocked the hell out. We're talking.
I think this could happen in TNA. I mean, that could really be a thing that we get. After being officially unveiled via a vignette during last night's WWE SmackDown, Rey Fenix has added WWE Superstar to his social media bio. Ash, are you excited for Rey Fenix in WWE? He's debuting on SmackDown.
Oh, that's going to be fun because Penta had a very solid debut on Raw. Looking forward to what they have in store for Rey Fenix for both as singles until the eventual meetup as a tag team.
Chris, what do you think of them debuting him? And by the way, guys, literally, we're getting Jackie interviewing Ludwig. What I said would happen earlier. I was like, if we get that, we're doing news. Boom, worked out like a charm. Chris, what do you think of them debuting Rey Fenix before WrestleMania? What do you think the idea is in doing that?
I don't know. I mean, look, they signed him, so they don't want to just keep him there. But it's like, where do you put him? Because you're already, I don't know, you're doing a 6-pack challenge probably for the Intercontinental title. You're doing a 4-way probably match for the tag team titles. I mean, is this what WrestleMania is going to be? Let's get as many guys in there for multiple matches. Let's do 7-way for the U.S. title. Let's throw Rey Fenix in there. Let's throw Jacob Fatu, Solo Sikoa, Tama Tonga, LA Knight, Braun Strowman. Let's throw Phil Marks in there. Let's just throw everybody in there.
I'm game. Let's do it. Yeah, I don't know if it's going to be that. Some people are pointing out that, like, I don't know, it's going to lead to Jacob Fatu versus Solo because I think LA Knight's defending his belt against Jacob on SmackDown or something. So instead of a title change, he'll get a defense because Solo will like spike Jacob or Jacob over somehow or like accidentally cost him the match again or whatever. I don't know, but either way, Bret Hart is such a legend of wrestling that they just made up reasons to induct him into the Hall of Fame every decade. So Bret Hart, dude, is a 3-time Hall of Famer. Once with the Hart Foundation, once with just by himself, and now the first ever WrestleMania moment / match. Ant Evans said on this show, PWT, he helped, I believe, he actually suggested that to UFC, and they do that in their Hall of Fame. And Ant Evans was like, dude, it's only a matter of time before WWE starts doing that. Boom, they're doing it. Bret Hart is a 3-time Hall of Famer, the GOAT right here. George, what do you think of him having this distinction?
It's a perfect guy for the first distinction. He's if you're going to pick anybody, Bret Hart would be the guy, right?
Yeah, absolutely, man. Without question. I mean, He's that dude that the old heads would turn on the Attitude Era, or like at the beginning of the Attitude Era, and people would say that guy's real. I don't know about this wrestling stuff, but that Bret Hart guy, I think he's perfect. For the sickos these days, he's like the Daniel Bryan, if you will, I guess, which Chris will probably scoff at that comparison, but it is what it is. Now, do you think they induct more than one moment per year, or do you think they just stick with one moment? Because now they have an excuse to have Austin and Bret in Vegas for WrestleMania. What do you think about that, George?
I think you're best with one moment a year. You can get really clogged up in the it could be a long day.
Yeah.
Just keep it at one.
Yeah. Yeah, I think this is amazing, and I'm a huge Bret Hart mark. What about you, Ash? Huh? Canada?
I think this is pretty cool. Hey, Phil, want to know something about me? I've never watched a Bret Hart match.
Oh! What? Are you serious?
Yeah,
Listen,
I haven't seen one yet. It's not that...
No, go ahead.
No, I don't count WrestleMania 26 as a match, so yeah, I have yet to see a Bret Hart match. I've been meaning to get around to doing so. I just haven't been able to, make the time for a Bret Hart binge watch.
Listen, I'm not even going to give you for that. What I'm going to do is say now you have the luxury of watching some of his fine work. This is your homework here at PWT, Ash. You are going to watch the match between him and Stone Cold. I want you to look it up where you can watch like the promo build-up package so you get the full scope of the story. And then I want you to watch the match that's being inducted into the Hall of Fame this year and report back to me. Can you do that?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, if someone can link that to Ash, I'm sure it's on WWE Vault right now, promoting.
It's on Canadian Netflix. It's on Canadian
Netflix.
Netflix.
There you go. Someone please, yes, or Ash, you get in there, do that for homework. So we're looking at the Hall of Fame right now on the screen on Raw. Triple H, Michelle McCool, Lex Luger, the Natural Disasters, and then Austin and Bret for their WrestleMania 13 match. I think this is perfect. Don't go any more people than this.
That's
You know what I mean?
Right.
Solid toss, yeah.
Amazing, pal. An Instagram influencer recently posted a video claiming that The Rock hates CM Punk and was using his backstage power to take Punk's spotlight. The Rock responded in the comments saying it's complete and that he and Punk are actually good buds, bud. I'm not your buddy guy. And so The Rock says, first of all, Punk and I have become good buddies over the years. We're solid. Secondly, whatever matchmaking scenario is best for true long-term, not short-term business success, that will be our Mania main event. Lastly, your clown cooked his ass. This is hilarious. They're buddies and they're looking at the long term. So they know by the end of this Mania, they will know what they want to do by next Mania, but they're going to make us all think at the last minute that they just pulled some out of their ass. They're going to do that every year now. Okay, it worked until it doesn't work anymore. They pulled it off by accident with The Rock last time, I think, and this year everything's been planned to a T, including John Cena turning at Chamber. That's why Ari Emanuel's accidentally like on Pat McAfee stooging all that Chamber show. It's gonna it's gonna be insane. He's saying it months and months in advance because Triple H is laying this all out to people so they understand and they trust the process. And they go, we know what's coming down the stretch. So I don't know, man, taking it back to the old school, just long-term booking, short-term, some things, right? There's wrestling, so there's an element of freestyle, but as long as you can long-term plan and go, okay, if we can connect these two major dots while connecting the dots along the way in the middle that we might have to plot along the way, that makes sense, then we can tell this bigger story here. And I mean, that's how you draw money. So I don't know what. So Gunther was on WWE LFG on Sunday last night, which was an awesome episode. He was ripping everybody. Undertaker, Booker T, the LFG people. He was ripping everyone, pulling no punches. He gave Bubba Ray Dudley his first point on the show. And during that show, someone who's wrestling paper, can you mute your mic? Sorry. Do you agree? So Mickie James had this to say about Zeta Steele, though. She's like, listen, as a wrestler who was in the Divas era, who had my ass cheeks hanging out all the time, like Zeta, or what's that girl's name? Zeta or whatever her name is. Are you guys watching LFG? That big, tall, blonde girl. Her name starts with a Z. I can't remember. But either way, she she wore like a bit of a, I don't want to say skimpier, but her cheeks were cheeking a little more than usual because they were trying to show like a different side of their characters and stuff. And Mickie James was like, yo, I hate when these women's wrestlers' asses just be hanging out and it's all I can see, like it's actually, we fought so hard, so we didn't have to do that. She's like, and this is a girl who did that like a lot, So she had some strong words to say and went semi-viral. Some people piped up and had opposite opinions. Ash, as a woman yourself, what do you think about like when the ladies' cheeks are cheeking? Is it okay? I mean, we're looking at Gunther right now. He's basically in his gitchies. So,
I mean, if the women want to dress sexual, that's up to them. Like if they choose to, and that's how they feel comfortable with themselves, like flaunting their goods. If it's their choice and they want to do that, all power to them.
Zena Sterling. Yeah, no, you're right. And that's just it. If I got to look at Orton in his like extra tighties, because he's all bodied up right now and he's got his extra tighties on, or when Gable's El Grande Americano and he's wearing that singlet that for some reason like goes up his ass where his cheeks are cheeking, then like I'm sorry, if Rhea wants to or Liv wants to come out and thirst cast it up a little bit, I'm okay with it, So that's my opinion, but I'm a dude, so people are gonna be like, of course you say that. But as a woman, I appreciate your perspective on that. Yeah, so Mickie's words she wasn't that harsh. She just like let it be known, and I mean, good for her. That's her opinion, and she was there and lived it. By the way, Gunther and Jimmy are cooking here quite a bit. I mean, this isn't the greatest. We just saw a big.
Could be.
Sorry, what's that?
I was making the joke saying this is a preview for what Gunther versus Jay could be like at Mania.
Right, it'll be the same moves, just in a different order. No, I'm joking. No, Jimmy's been really cooking lately more in ring because Jimmy's so over charismatically, or Jay rather. I feel like Jimmy's been like, okay, I'm going to show you guys in ring, like when Jay botched that dive and then on SmackDown, Jimmy hit one. And then he had a big smile and he's taunting at the crowd and they pop for it. So WWE has filed to trademark What Do You Want to Talk About? What's Your Story with Steph McMahon? 6 Feet Under with The Undertaker, not Mark Calloway. So I have an X-Files theory for and the Raw recap. So could you guys imagine 6 Feet Under with The Undertaker as like a Miz TV talk show on Raw or something? Oh, that would be so cringe, bro. That would piss me off. George, what do you think if they did that?
That'd be something. I'm all for that.
You want to see Undertaker interviewing people.
Big fan of the ding. Yes.
Yeah, you just want to hear the ding.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm not going to lie.
Jesus Christ. Oh, my God, man. 6 Feet Deep with Mark Calloway is, of course, his YouTube podcast, so he's going to keep that. But what they're doing is because this ESPN thing was a bit of a test run, that Steph's Places was a bit of a test run to see like if her interview style works as well. Because what they're doing is they're launching some podcasts. Like they don't have the Broken Wrench podcast or whatever, the Broken Skull sessions that Stone Cold was doing. They uploaded all of those to the vault. Like they've just been dropping those all, which those used to all be hidden like behind the network or wherever. Maybe they were on Peacock, I'm not sure, but they're dropping them all on YouTube because the new podcast WWE special where they sit down and have a shot of whiskey, it's gonna be Undertaker's 6 Feet Under with The Undertaker. It's a play, just like Stone Cold's podcast was the play off of, What Do You Want to Talk About? That's, of course, Cody's podcast that sometimes appears on YouTube. I think that's what it was called. I don't know. It disappeared for a while. I'm not sure. Maybe they're bringing it back where you like talk to people on his bus. And then What's Your Story with Steph? She's going to host a podcast because I think she really is just doing what she enjoys doing. And this ESPN show was sort of a test run of, okay, this works. Her interviews come across great. She's good at it, obviously, but, put it to the test. And then we spin off with a pod. And then the two, like Steph's Places and What's Your Stories, can cross promote the same way Stone Cold's Broken Skull sessions, like his podcast and his podcast with WWE cross promoted. 6 Feet Deep with Mark Calloway. That's where you're going to get the Shoot Brother. But 6 feet deep with Undertakers, where you're going to get Undertakers like kayfabe. Well, just the interview style, the way Stone Cold did it. But obviously it'll still be loosey-goosey because Triple H is in charge. Vince and Beaverface won't be over there like, hurry it up, please. No, shut up, Cornette. But yeah, and then the Raw recap. I think that's Megan Morant and Sam Roberts or something. But either way, yeah, them just adding more content. This is actually just podcasting content. But I'd made the joke. Could you guys imagine like a Piper's Pit, but with the Undertaker? That would be such an L. You know, that'd be insane. You'd ruin his aura immediately, right? But George was here for it, I guess. So
just for the comical reason I mentioned, that was all.
Yeah, to hear the dig. But we and Michelle McCool, and then Undertaker's gonna host it for one episode and then go, Michelle McCool's now taking over 6 feet under with Michelle McCool. Moving along though. So yeah, shout out those pods. The WWE ones, I'll check out Undertaker's thing, and I'll likely check out the Steph stuff because at first I was like, I'm not going to watch Steph's places, but man, what we've seen is so amazing. And I'm a little bit distracted as I babble to you guys because Gunther and Jimmy are cooking pretty well. And Gunther's like picking Jimmy's shoulders up off the mat, like choking him out, pinning him, picking the shoulders up off the mat with him. The crowd's yeeting. And eventually the Usos are going to have to get back together and Jimmy's going to be forced to yeet, which is unfortunate for him. It seems like he'll always play the back yeet to Jay. But moving along, because we got some WWE news, we might as well finish it up. So WrestleTix, WrestleMania's, the current setup is 51,707. They have 753 available combo tickets left, over 5,000 regular tickets. And then on Sunday, they have 753 combo tickets. Well, that's the combo tickets, so duh. And they have 3,224 available tickets. So I don't know, guys. What do you all think? Under 50,000 both nights. They really price gouged. Chris, what do you think about this? Do you think next year they lower the prices or
no? Next year they'll you never lower prices. Like next year they'll look and go, well, you know what? It's New Orleans. More people will go. Vegas is a tough town. It never sells. Next year, I bet they'll keep prices the same because they'll go, hey, remember Cody versus CM Punk main event? You got to check it out. And guess what? We'll also see probably Travis Scott versus Jey Uso. Make that sure that happens. They will. You never lower prices. That's motto 101 of business. Never lower prices. Keep raising them. Somebody will keep buying these.
I think at some point that it's got to balance out, or people are gonna, because I mean they didn't even sell out but one night, let alone both nights of Mania. That's the problem. So there'll be like 90,000 people over both nights or something. But I think it would serve better to lower the prices and sell more tickets, man. Like I'd have made the goddamn trip, but it was just like, holy Christ, you know.
They're not.
Me and my wife are like Christ in heaven, you know. We want to have our, do our summer vacay still and stuff too. So it's just, I don't know. It's too much.
Better question: if this had been in a different city, not Vegas, where they gouged the prices on hotels, how many more people do you think go? Rather than, oh crap, we're going to Vegas. The flights are expensive. The food, good luck.
It was called the Funeral Parlor, right? And you are right, but I thought that was more like Paul Bearer's. Like Taker was just there, like grimacing and no more, while Paul Bearer sort of carried the torch on that one. Am I wrong about that?
That sounds about right.
Yeah,
sounds about right.
That's accurate.
Yeah, the Funeral Parlor, they did that a couple times. I do remember those, right? But yeah, I don't know how long-lived that was, and I think it was more Bearer doing the heavy lifting there. So Glenn Gilberti says that it's too expensive and not yet enough interest, underwhelming. Yeah, I think some of the matches, like some of the build people, like if some of these matches were announced earlier, they might have sold some earlier on, but I don't know. It's we'll see as time goes on. Living Color is scheduled to perform in Las Vegas on the night before WrestleMania. Hear me out. CM Punk's first ever WrestleMania main event, the first ever time he gets to main event. There's no title, so he can come out last, or he comes out first. Living Color plays him to the ring. What do you guys think? Are you here for that, George?
Dude, Living Color is so good live. I've seen them twice. They're awesome.
Dude, Amazing. They're going to play Punk to the ring at the main event. What do you think of that, Chris Connors?
I like it. I mean, if you're going all in with this, might as well. Like this is the big one. This is Punk's first ever headlining WrestleMania.
Speaking of iconic and Roman Reigns, I don't know what this is from. I'm like, is this a musical? What is this? But here are these people like dancing to Roman Reigns' theme here. Where was this? This is like some community theater. Like, what is this? Does anyone know?
I've never seen that before until you.
I've never seen this in my life, dude. Till the other night. Look at this. They're dancing to Roman Reigns' theme. Like this guy here is just offbeat with everyone. Here's Rhea Ripley spanking herself with a kendo stick. Thirstcast really feeling herself at these live shows lately. This is my brutality, someone said. Speaking of CM Punk doesn't like the Beatles. He doesn't like the Beatles, but they've made so many great records. He says just a bunch of overrated, 100% overrated. Oh, edgelord Phil over here, guys. Phony boy band that was manufactured and went through phases. Oh, you mean like all those super legit punk bands that all become rappers 2 years later? Or, you know what I mean? Those guys aren't manufactured cornballs. Oh, we're hippies now. We're psychedelic now. You, Sergeant Pepper. Yeah, you, Straight Edge Brooks. No, listen, I love CM Punk, but you, dude, drink a beer. Don't be a bitch. You know what I mean, dude? Calm down. No, I'm just joking. If you're straight edge, that's cool. But listen, the Beatles, they made Sergeant Pepper. That was a great record. Dude, the Beatles are amazing, and they just want to hold your hand. Punk, we all need to come together right now over me, no Diddy, okay? So, no Diddy party, okay? Quit hating on the Beatles. And that was WWE news.